Yes, where am I going? On a Friday morning, the 9th of October. That train was almost empty. Hopefully that's a good sign. Because I intend on going to Liverpool. Because it would have been John Lennon's 80th birthday today. And there was all sorts of things planned. So I booked a hotel for one night, the Adelphi. But I think all the bands playing would have been cancelled, not sure about the pubs. But I just thought I'll still go anyway and see what's going on. Did very well with the trains, one waiting at Preston Station.
Ladies and gentlemen, next stop for this service in just a few moments will be Leyland. Any passengers travelling in the rear three coaches of this service wishing to leave the train at Leyland, please make your way forward as the train is too long for the platform. That's any passengers travelling in the rear three carriages of this service wishing to leave the train at Leyland, please make your way forward as the rear doors will not be on the platform at Leyland. Leyland next stop.
Yes, this is a high-speed service with about 8 carriages on. So it should be in Liverpool in just 1 hour. Yes, here we are in Liverpool. Scattered showers, windy. That's the art gallery over there behind the green statues, where Lennon McCartney's photo exhibition is, which is where I'm going first. There's a bit of filming going on here, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a news report about John Lennon's birthday. There's meant to be a camera crew going to the Strawberry Fields thing today because George Michael owned John Lennon's piano and he's donated it or loaned it. Well, his family have or whatever, seeing as he's dead. George Michael's estate have loaned it to Strawberry Fields or donated it. Because I think Strawberry Fields, which used to be an orphanage in the 50s, still does stuff like that, you know, looking after kids. A lot of changes since I first came here in the 80s. There were little shops here at one time. Right, I'll go and have a look at the gallery. Liverpool Empire Theatre. It says "We Will Rock You," March to April this year. Probably all cancelled because of the bloody virus. That's what I saw on my 50th birthday at the Dominion Theatre in London. You know what this filming is? Apparently they filmed Batman, Gotham City. They filmed Batman scenes here. A load of flowers and American flags there. Why film here? Does it look American or something? Strange idea. Well, I've just been around the exhibition. All this is fenced off just for making this bloody film. They were doing it, was it last year? I know they were doing it when it was my birthday in March. So is St George's Hall closed because of the filming? Picture, I've got some nice old postcards of this area. It's on the Linda McCartney exhibition. I've seen about 90% of them already. Yeah, I'll have a look at the Beatles shop on Mathew Street and then get a taxi up to the maternity hospital, I think, to take the pictures with the time code on, with the birthday on. In case you were wondering, that's where one of the Mersey Tunnel entrances is, near the end of the museum row, on the back of St George's Hall. It goes under the river. I always thought they were joke glasses from Blackpool. Look at them. If he went out in them in the sunshine, he'd set his bloody eyebrows on fire, wouldn't he? Let's have a look at Bridget's. I just seen an advert for a John Lennon exhibition but it said ends November 19. They want to update the bloody hoardings and boardings. Some nice old buildings up here. Adolf Hitler missed in the blips. Any gaps with modern buildings or... Oh, I went for a look in there before, big hallway. Yeah, any gaps are where the bombers destroyed the buildings during the war. In the Beatles Beatles area, Mathew Street, just a bit further up here. And yeah, it's raining again.
Okay, who's next? Yes!
Bob, would you do one of your famous tavern introductions for
us? Okay, here goes, folks. Hi there, all you Cape Dwellers. This is Bob Buller saying, welcome to the best of sellers. We got the hi-fi high and the lights down low, so here we go with the Alan Williams Show.
He's the birthday boy himself. I've just been in the Beatles shop, the basement shop, and he's having a sale, all sorts of goodies, very cheap. I told my mate Kevin to come. I said you might get some bargains. No, I'm working, Steve. I'm working at his shop. And if there's people having a sale, like I said, get some bargains. Oh, there's a sign. Another John Lennon statue. Still have the 3D Sergeant Pepper that I got for 10 quid a couple of years ago. There's one I've been looking for years, a 3D rubber sole one, but nobody sold it. In America they did, but not here. For some strange reason. Beatles monopoly. Cavern pub is shut. The Wall of Fame. All these new bars, Cavern Club restaurant shut. Cavern Club shut. Caribbean pub. Oh, Eric's still open. And that was where the original entrance was to the cavern. So the newly rebuilt one is 40 feet away. This museum is run by Pete Best and his brother, the original drummer that was with the Beatles for 2 years and he got sacked. Is that meant to be an original hat wore in the photo shoot? I very much doubt it. Oh, I've done it all up since I was last in. We were 15 quid last time, I wonder if it's gone up. There used to be a basement club there, the John Lennon bar. Flanagan's Apple shut. That used to be a fans shop called the Cavern Mecca, run by a couple, but she got cancer and died, so he jacked it all in. The right hand side hasn't changed much since the early days, but all the ones on the left got demolished for some reason. Yes, I've just been in the pub for a pint of Guinness and a double Jameson's Irish whiskey. The taxi driver, £5.40 coming up here from Mathew Street, and he didn't know, oh, I think the hospital has been demolished and all these new buildings have gone up. I said, demolished? There was a John Lennon blue plaque on. And it's not been demolished because this is it, the original building where John was born. The date on 1924 there. John was born in 1940 at 6:30 a.m. 9th of October 1940. There's a myth that it was during an air raid, but that's been dispelled. A researcher looked into the record of the bombing on Liverpool, and there wasn't an air raid on that date. Princess Mary in 1924, March 12th. March 12th is when Paul and Linda got married in 1969. And there's John's plaque. You think they'd have cleaned it for today, wouldn't you? Can you see me? Oh, there we are. Displays come back on. This is not here. Picture about the electric pipe. Lennon Studios, Cambridge Court, United. Yeah, it's student accommodation now, apparently. So there we are. I wanted to get a still of it with today's date on. So I'll see if it fits in the frame. Happy birthday, John. I thought I'd send a picture with the date on to Sean in New York. And just still, keep it nice and still. A bit further back, picture about them vans. Yeah, I told the taxi driver it's right next to the Catholic cathedral, and he took me around the bloody back. Silly sod. Oh, that's better, in the full frame now. I was just telling the taxi driver if John will have stayed in the UK and just bought a big house. Well, he had a big house. He had Tittenhurst Park in Ascot in Berkshire. He paid 110 grand for it in 1969. That was, I think you multiply it by 10, so £1 million. And he sold it in 1974. I think Ringo lived in it for a year. And then he sold it to a bloody Arab. Ringo sold it to an Arab, and the Arab ripped out the recording studio. It said it was all in a skip at the front of Tittenhurst Park. I mean, you've seen the film Imagine. That's where it was filmed, Tittenhurst Park, lovely ground. I think it was 72 acres of land with a big lake on. And I think that taxi driver said, I think it was Yoko that insisted he moved to America. I said, yeah, you're probably right. Lots of myths about that he was under the thumb with Yoko. He actually called her mother. You know, he said, mother, mother. And he said he was looking for a mother figure because his mum died when he was 17. She got run over outside Aunt Mimi's house on Menlove Avenue. Run over by an off-duty copper who'd been drinking. No breathalyzer in them days, believe it or not. Just jump in your car, piss and run people over. Oxford Street. So, taxi driver could have come up there, turned in there, instead of getting bloody lost. The font. Students, boy. Well, here we are, Philharmonic dining rooms, actually Philharmonic pub. Did they do food? Oh, fish and chips. There's a blue plaque there, but nothing to do with John Lennon. John would go in for a few beers after the art college had shut. and often get bored, and when he got bored he retired to another little pub where we're going next, called Ye Crack, down the lane up there. Very ornate, these marble bogs, broken windows there. Marble bogs and ornate plaster ceilings with all sorts of edifices carved. But the stained glass is incredible. I don't know if we'll be allowed to film inside, we'll see. I just asked the lad if this was where Paul McCartney and his band were, and he said yes. And can you see all that lovely ornate wood and stained glass? A lovely chandelier, panelled walls. Can you see all this marble? Marble sinks, I think it's marble anyway, or fake marble. An old bog, a modern bog. But the floor is just a huge mosaic. The adamant. There should be a sign saying John Lennon pissed here, shouldn't there? It's not particularly old, it's only late Victorian, but it's just lovely, isn't it? All these old tiles, them tiles. You see. Mosaic and plasterwork everywhere. Oh, it's lovely, it's a pleasure to piss here. Ooh, could do with a clean, couldn't it? So there we are, the Philharmonic pub on Hope Street, Liverpool. Yes, here we are, Rice Street, and Ye Crack is there. I don't know if it's open. John Lennon's law club when he was at the art college. I've got a picture of him with Cynthia sat on a car roof, Ford Popular car roof, just round the corner. I'll go to the exact location in a minute. That's the top of the enormous Anglican cathedral. See, that's Church of England, and this one's Catholic. So it's meant to be a street that harmonises the two religions. And this street is Faulkner Street, and as you can see, it's cobbled. They kept the original Victorian cobbles, so it's often used for television things apparently. And when John got married, Faulkner Street, that's right. See, I remember it all. Number 36 is where Brian Epstein had a flat, and he let John and Cynthia use it for the first 6 months of the married life. But fans found out where it was and he got pestered, you see, so actually moved back to Mimi's house, his Aunt Mimi in Menlove, 251 Menlove Avenue in Woolton. Because of all the hassle from the fans, and they didn't get hassle back there. So yeah, steeped in John Lennon history in this area. I just hope this pub's open. We've got some marvellous little wooden partitions from the early 1800s. I think that's when this was built. And there's a good picture of him and Cynthia sat with the brick wall in the background, sat down on the steps. Raining again. There we are. Hello, hello. Number 36, Falconer Street, Falconer. John Lennon and his first wife Cynthia's first flat. But that's an original door. Owned by Brian Epstein, and apparently he had the flat to meet up with his clandestine boyfriends, because of course he was gay, as if, well, he used to call it queer, didn't he, in the 60s, 50s. This is Cobble Street, and old gas lamp style, which is now electric, of course. Oh, now that one, yeah. They have them side pieces on because the side pieces is where the lamp light would have his ladders, and the leaner ladders against the side pieces to light the gas lamps. You had to go around and manually light them up every evening. That old pub Ye Cracker just been, knocked on the door, and he said, "We'll open at 5 o'clock, love." Oh, I said 5, all right. I was thinking I was going to go for a curry, but that might not be very wise because of my guts. So I thought, should I go for a nice meal elsewhere and return in the locale of this area, and then go in the pub for a little aperitif after I had a meal at 5. And there is a restaurant on Hope Street actually. I'm just wondering where Percy Street is, because Percy Street is where Stuart Sutcliffe had a flat, John's mate from Art College. And many years ago in the 80s, you can see the chimney stacks, tall with loads of chimney pots, untouched since Victorian time. They're the original crown chimney pots. And on Percy Street, every now and again, they had a sundial type of thing, like a sun thing. And on the back was discovered carvings with the initials JL on the block of flats where Stuart Sutcliffe had his flat. And they said, well, John and Stuart must have gone on the roof to sunbathe or whatever, and carved the sun face in the back of the sundial effect, ornate thing on the roof. Well, I can't remember where Percy Street is. I'll have to try and find it. I've not brought a map. This is nice, isn't it? Do I sound slightly pissed? I've had 3 double whiskies and 3 pints so far to give me an appetite. Hello, yes. Here we are at the Art College and Paul McCartney's and George Harrison's old school, the Liverpool Institute. And they've had all these stone cases, reproduced stone cases. You're actually luggage bags, aren't you? Bags and trunks and things. Yeah, that is now the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts, where posh kids can go and learn stuff. And the reason I'm filming here is that picture of John Lennon, Cynthia and 2 of John's art college pals are sat on a Ford Popular's roof. Very naughty. Blackburn Place. And Hope Street, can you see? Blackburn was that school there. It's a school for girls. Blackburn School for Girls. Blackburn House. And I live in Blackburn. Nothing to do with, it's got an E on the end. Blackburn. Oh bugger, the sun's out. That'll spoil the picture. Look at this, a vintage Bentley. Wedding car though. Yeah, this spot here. I'll see if I can do an intersection with the original picture. It's that corner there, I think. John, Cynthia and two of his college pals just sat on the roof of someone's Ford Popular. And you can tell by the windows, you know, which is the spot. Very naughty. And I remember that Pier Street is left up here, because we once went to it on one of those Beatle tours. Might not be of any interest to you amateur viewers, but you know, I like all this Victoriana. I mean, look at that, an original Victorian shoe scraper. Because your feet would be full of horse shit walking around the streets in those times. Oops, just knocked it off accidentally. That's what they'd be. Your feet, your shoes would be full of horse shit, so you scrape them off before going into people's houses. And a lot of them are still there from years ago. Yes, here we are at the Anglican Cathedral, and it's difficult to get a perspective with this camera of just how huge that is. It's just enormous. But it wasn't completed until 1973. They kept faffing around and delaying it, you know. And this might look a bit grotty, but this is all student flats, and number 3, Gambier Terrace, was where John and Stuart Sutcliffe, his best pal from art college, had a flat. And they got in trouble. They were so skint, they were burning the furniture to stay warm one winter, probably 1959. Yeah, they got in trouble from the landlord for burning furniture to keep warm. She's number 3. Oh, there we are, number 3. So John Lennon, when he was 17, 18, having left school, stayed here with Stuart Sutcliffe in a flat. It was actually featured in a daily newspaper saying how beatniks live. Beatniks. But I mean, there's a story behind that. John was such a failure at school that his Aunt Mimi went to see his headmaster, Mr. Popjoy. He said, "Can you not do something for my John?" Well, you know, pull a few strings, please, please. So I said, well, I'll look into it, my dear. Mrs. Smith, yes, yes. And Mimi Smith's husband had recently died, so I think he took pity on her and John, because his beloved uncle had died. There's a picture of John in front of these gates with all his art college classmates. Yeah, so Mr. Popjoy got John on at the art college here, which is now, like I said, the Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts. And Pier Street, after they got evicted from Gambier Terrace, number 3, he moved in with Stuart Sutcliffe, his pal. I think that's the story, something like that. and Percy Street is just down here. More elegant Georgian terraces, as you can see. Lovely. By Georgian, I mean 1700s, early 1700s. That's when King George III and IV were around. I'm not sure of the address here on Percy Street of where John and Stuart stayed, but like I said, hopefully they're still there on the roof. The ornate sundials which John has carved his initials on, because he drew a face on the back, apparently. We shall see. Let's see, Percy Street. Has it been chiselled off and sold to Beatles fans? Oh no, it's still there, right in the middle there. And like I said, you got Mike McCartney, Paul's brother, as a consultant to say, do you think that's something that John might have done? He said yes. I estimate the value to be about 25 to 30,000 pounds. It's that middle one there. It's like that piano story today. The TV cameras were in Strawberry Fields children's home today, filming the Imagine piano that John had in his studio and composed and played Imagine on. How do you focus on that? Oh, there we are. You see, the middle bit there, on the back of that, is a carving with JL. And it's a face with JL carved initials on the bottom of it. And apparently John did that while he was staying here with his buddy, bosom pal, Stuart Sutcliffe. I just noticed the date stone there, 1887. I just like Victorian architecture. Do forgive me for being a bit of a sideliner. This had a meal here, Papillon. Starter was prawn something or other, and the meal was onion bhaji burger with fries, and I got a garlic dip. Very nice. I better check in. I was going to wait until that pub opened at 5, but I better check into my hotel. And it's within walking distance, and it's downhill. You go up to the Catholic Cathedral, turn left, 5-minute walk downhill, and it's there on the right, the Adelphi. There's been 3 different Adelphis. One was in the 1700s, another one was in the 1800s, and the current one dates from 1912, which is when my grandmother was born. And apparently the 1912 one was only built because it was decided that rather than modernise and add bathrooms and plumbing to the 1800s one, you know, when bathrooms became all the rage, they demolished it instead. It was more economically viable to demolish it and build a new hotel with private bathrooms on the same footprint of the old hotel. This is a 1930s Art Deco Liverpool Philharmonic. Buddy Holly played here March the 20th, 1958. And this is where my film was filmed from last July, when Paul McCartney went in the back way and didn't sign anything for us waiting fans and miserable out for it. And I had a reproduction poster from the Buddy Holly concert because he's a big Buddy Holly fan. There's lights on, isn't there? And I thought I've given him the Buddy Holly poster in return for an autograph, but the security man says we don't accept gifts. We don't do a Scottish SAS Mark Hamilton. We don't accept gifts anymore because of the risk. It's a risk. Although because of the Russian poisonings, I suspect that's why. You never know if some loonies put something nasty on the Prezi, you know, a present for Paul. I'll go this way because at the bottom of here is a ruined church from wartime where a lot of people died. During one of Goring's bombing raids, the church was bombed and the vacuum from the explosion sucked the roof off and killed lots of people. So they preserved the church as a memorial, and there's a statue. And if we can get in the, I think we can get in the grounds, but whether it'll be open or not today, I don't know. So next mission is check into my hotel. Well, here we are at the bombed out church, and like I said, the roof was blown in, lots of people killed in a bombing raid. Not sure exactly when, probably 1941 in May. There was 9 days of continuous bombing and the docks got hammered. And I wonder if this was when this was bombed as well. I was going to go in, the door is unlocked, it's changed on the other door, but this iron gate is open, but that lady said, we're closed, we're closed. I'd like to have a look inside, there's old trees and stuff growing. And look at that, a statue of peace when they played football in no man's land in World War I. What that's got to do with World War II when the Nazi bastards blew loads of innocent people up who went to church during a bombing raid, praying, thought they'd be safe, and bang, all the roof fell in and crushed them to death. Peace my arse, bunch of bloody Germans. Bloody Germans. I was wondering when I should have a haircut. The barber's is open there. I'll ask. My hair's like a mop. Well, here we are at my hotel, just after 4 o'clock. Hope it's not too late to check in, but they said, I said I'll check in between 1 and 2, and they said, oh, normally it's after 4. So I've timed it just right, haven't I? The amount of pubs there are in Liverpool, it's unbelievable. There we are back at St George's Hall in the distance, I don't know if you can see. The reason I'm filming this is a nice old scenario of this scene in about 1895-ish, I think. So I thought I'll do another postcard comparison, you know. Well, I'll go and check in. Hope they've got my room booked via booking.com. We shall see. Well, while there's a queue to book in, check in, I thought I'd show you these rooms. One of them is meant to be a reproduction of the ballroom of the Titanic, because it dates from 1912, but I've never been sure which one. quiet, isn't it? Is this the Titanic ballroom? I mentioned on Facebook to someone, and they said, oh, couldn't you have done better than the Adelphi? It's looking its age. I thought, well, I like all this Victoriana, or rather Edwardian period. Who wants to stay in a modern hotel? Lovely, this, isn't it? Bit weird being totally deserted though. Normally this should be heaving. I see what I mean about Victorian, or rather Edwardian elegance. I think they're quite nice rooms and corridors. Where else did I have brass chandeliers and marble tiles, 1912. Someone said it, no, it's a bit dilapidated, but it would be, wouldn't it? Ouch. I banged my head here before when I was staying with my mate Kevin. They're too low. I'm 6'7", 6'8" with my boots on. Nearly there. 125. What kind of view have I got, I wonder? Oh, looks like I'm right at the end. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 2, 6. Bloody hell. So, I've got a view of a building site and a car park. Well, I've managed to get in. The my netted strip has to be below. I just worked it out. Private bathroom, private bog. That's right, isn't it? £28 a night. Breakfast is £13 extra. What's that? Guns. See a bit of cream paint, you could colour that in. Soap dish marks. I think I'll have a bath. I haven't had a bath for ages because I've only got a shower room at home. Flat screen telly. Nice double bed. Pity I'm on my own. Nice little archway. Not bad, is it? Pity about the view. Fire escape. Right, I'll put the telly on. Oh, but look at that. I could easily do that up with a bit of white paint. Stained, water stains. I'm on the first floor as well. It goes up to about 8 floors, I think. Right, kettle on, feet up, boots off. Well, I just had the kettle on. Drew Pritchard is on, but it's a repeat of Salvage Hunters. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with this room. £28 a night. I paid that in Blackpool actually when I stayed at Blackpool 3 years ago for that musical. I thought I'd show you what I bought from that Beatles shop on Mathew Street. I didn't walk around with my video camera in there.
This early 20th century box could have a value of around £1,200.
London exhibition catalogue for Mike McCartney's screen prints in aid of Parkinson's disease.
that one looks like it's
1990. Well,
sort of pinky red shellac feeling.
yeah, they had a sale selling stuff very cheap.
I've seen that configuration.
It's for $3.99,
Frames, that type of thing.
although it's only a thin.
You won't see many of those lying around antique shops, that's for sure. Yeah. What can you do on it? You've got $2.95 on it.
And that is a book I've been after for a while, actually. Even though I don't collect Beatles stuff anymore now, so I just snapped out of it. I'm always curious to what John's first wife actually wrote about him.
Oh, great. So unusual, isn't it?
And that's Cynthia's
Pay $2.50 for
autobiography about her life with John. That should be interesting. Little addition to my bathroom bookshelf, $7.99 now.
a real quality, unusual piece.
I've heard comments about it saying, you know, negative things, but I'll see, won't I? Yeah, so I got them in a sale. Took a few pictures with my little Pentax Z750. 7 megapixel, I got that in 2005, especially to take to London for the Live 8 concert, which I won tickets for on Radio Preston, Red Rose Radio as it was known then. And it takes better pictures than my modern 20 megapixel Aldi camera, although that's a Maginon, which is Aldi's own brand. Well, that's a good size just to slip into your pocket. Pity I couldn't take pictures at the Linda exhibition. It said due to copyright. So well, I've seen most of them anyway. Right, I'll have a brew, settle down, go back up to Ye Crack and do some filming there. And then walk back via Bald Street.
185 the pair.
Well, I didn't go back out after all. I was working today, up at 3 AM, working 6 till 9, then came here. So, I lay on the bed and fell asleep, but I was woken at 8 by bloody crashing and banging. I don't know if the service crew are emptying the cages of washing or whatever, but bloody hell, lasted an hour. It's gone quiet now, and the radiator is blazing away. And when I was moving about in bed, my foot caught on something sharp, and I've just looked and there's a bloody spring sticking out of the mattress. And I've just took my high blood pressure capsule for the night, and I thought I'd put the telly on, and BBC 4 is showing a few John Lennon things, so I just thought I'd film this little bit to end my day out on. I didn't go back to Ye Crack, but I've been there loads of times before. Yeah, I like this period, 1974, although they put this bit of film with Mind Games song in 1973, but this film was from 74. He looks a lot healthier there than he did in later life. Yoko had him on a microbiotic diet, living off brown rice. And he can't have been more than about 9 stone when he died. Yeah, eating there. Probably can't see, it's too far away. Yeah, she's introducing a song, talking over the best bits. Number 9, Dreams, right? Good guitar at the start. So John Lennon would have been 80 today. Thank you for watching and goodbye. Well, good morning. Woke up an hour before the alarm was due to go off. Other nights, are all hotels the same? Arseholes slamming the bloody doors. These doors just require a gentle little pull to engage the lock, and your arseholes have been slamming the bloody doors, coming in at all hours. And then strangely, I rung reception at 1:30 to complain because see, it's open again. I kept getting slammed shut in the middle of the bloody night. And I thought, is it some kind of service elevator for bedding? Slamming it to engage the lock. And another cock up. And who scratched my foot? Because look at that. And there's a sharp piece of the spring edge there. But all you need to do, well, I suppose all I needed to do was turn the bloody mattress round because I felt and there's nothing at the other end. Should I turn it round myself? I think I will. There's normally an information thing though, isn't there, to leave a note for the cleaners or whatever. I'll make a brew and go to the bog and have a bath. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having a bath. I've not had a bath for years because all I have at home is a shower room. See, you could cover that up with a big mirror, couldn't you? Or something. Is that a soap? Hair and body wash. I brought me on. Lynx Africa. Got that on my hands now. And why do people pinch the inserts on the tops of the taps? Yeah, this is TT, and listen to that while I'm on the bog. Sorry I've not uploaded anything for a while. I even deleted that crap video talking about Virgin Media, partly because I thought Virgin Media, if they watch it, might not be very happy about all the dissing. Because that bloke who was meant to be handling my complaints seemed to be into bikes, and I said, oh, I've got a YouTube channel. Oh, what's it called? Oh, Steve's Hornet 900. Oh, I'll give it a look. And yet he didn't call, did he? I meant to be calling at 8:30 AM the other Wednesday, and he didn't. So I got up early for nothing. So what's going on with Virgin Media, I do not know. Right, kettle on. You get enough for well, 4 brews, I suppose. Not sure where I'm going. I might have a little walk round the shops and then go home. Right, well, talk about making your own bed. I just turned the mattress over and the other side's fine. You know, I think you're meant to turn your mattresses over, aren't you, to get even wear. Turn them round now and again and then turn them completely over, you know what I mean? Imagine none of the service staff seeing a bloody sharp spring sticking out. I don't know. Maybe that's my future in hotel housekeeping. Even one at pillowcases is inside out. With a little label on. Yeah, that one. I don't know. Right, back to me bath. There we are, bed remade. No nasty sharp springs. That's a t-shirt I dug out from home. A John Lennon t-shirt. With Julian, but Yoko behind him. That was in 1968. Shortly after him and Cynthia split up, because in 68 they all went to India, Cynthia with him. And when they came back, they had some kind of bust up, so she went on holiday with a friend to Greece, came back, and he'd installed Yoko in the big house in Weybridge. And he'd obviously give her one. He said they were both dressed in their pyjamas, with slippers outside the bedroom door. I don't know. It's filling the bath, is it full? No. Finally worked out how to flush the bog. You have to pump it, pump action bog. It's when you just push the lever, nothing happens. Got some stuff from work, Jack Dean, who was selling it off cheap, 50p a bottle. Smells alright. Right, I'll continue with my brew. Guy Martin's in this, it's a compilation. Because of course we're no TT this year. Well, only just fit in. Bloody hell. Plastic as well. I thought it was pot. You know, ceramic, but it's bloody plastic. Not exactly king size. I'll demonstrate that bog. Can you hear me? Microphone here. I'll put the microphone under my thumb. There we are. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And the bog, you're flushing. Now it's happened, so you have to pump it like that. Keep pumping, keep pumping. Keep pumping. Keep pumping. And it's actually a very effective flush when you're pumping. But surely there's a bloody normal Tripoli system like a siphon. It should be. You get worn, don't you? Plus people mess around, a lot of people mess around in hotels. When I used to come here with that Kevin, that Beatles buddy of mine, he were putting towels. What are you doing? No, you do, don't you? You always pinch a towel or two. I said, put it back. I booked in my name, and when they know a towel's gone, they'll be complaining up to me because it's booked in my name. Put it back. It's right, you worry too much. I said, why pinch a towel? Why pinch a towel that 1,000 people have dried their asses on? I said, will you put it back? Stop being silly. Bloody knob. And that was the last straw, because he had a strange mate that got drunk and he was throwing chips at me back in the hotel room. And the morning after, he was still ratty, so this mate of mine said, I'll take him round town and freshen him up, give him some fresh air. And they were still out at 11 AM and you're meant to check out at 10. So the chap, the service manager, knocked on the door. What are you doing still here? I said, I know. I said, no, listen. My friend has took another friend out to sober him up, as he's meant to be driving us all home in his van, along with lots of records, and they're not back. Well, I want all this luggage downstairs. I'm not interested in excuses. You're meant to vacate your room by 10 o'clock. I said, I know, that's fair enough, but... I said, right, well, I'll cart all the cases down, but it'll take 2 trips down in the lifts and I'll wait in reception. Right. And then Kevin come in about bloody 11:45 with this arsehole pisshead mate of his who'd meant to be driving a van home. You do not get pissed the night before if you've got the responsibility of getting 2 others home and all the valuable records. That's another thing, the van was just crammed full of for Kevin's stock from his shop. I said, all this unsold? Yeah, I did, okay. I said, yeah, but all this stuff, why not just bring the creme de la creme of the stuff which will sell? I said, blonde, £1 Blondie LP, and Stray Cats 50p, or what? Yeah, that's only 50p in pound box. Bargains. I said, well, it's just overloading the van, the bloody van. The wheels nearly collapsed. So you can imagine why I got fed up with it all. I'd like to come here on my own. It's not been a bad little trip, apart from last night. The intention was go out, have a few more beers, have a curry, and then come home about 10, which is when the pubs were meant to shut, but I just fell asleep on my bed because I've been up since 3 AM for work. Right, anyway, I'll continue with my bath. There we are, sending all the subs down to the Liver Maisie. Even the bath plug hasn't got a bloody chain on. They must have vandalised and pinched that because the little hook is still in the overflow. But just a split ring, like I bought for all my key rings, would have sorted that out. I struggled pulling a bloody plug out. I don't know. And the towels, that's the little bath mat, isn't it? Stop any puddles. And the one I've got on, only just fits. Try and breathe in. That's one for the ladies, yeah. Talking of which, yeah, a Ken Dodd joke coming up. Imagine my embarrassment. There I was, led on my bed, stark naked, and a young chambermaid walked in. Eventually. You get it, eventually, you get it. Right, I'll get dry, go down for breakfast. I've just been looking for my underarm stick, anti-sweat stick. I use them wax sticks, and I thought I'd pack my Old Spice one, and obviously I haven't. Swear it. These are them keyrings I got, Sergeant Pepper keyrings, can you see? A bit dark. Let's put a light on. And I've one of the split rings off, £5 them were. They're quite good because, I'll just rest the microphone on here again. They're enamelled, whereas the ones on eBay were £5 and they weren't coloured in with enamel. And that on the back called a blurb, copyright 2006 Beatles Apple Company. And I've got some 1967 pennies. And the idea, I moved the camera then, didn't I? Swear it. Yeah, the idea was, you see all that blurb on the back. Beatles 2006 copyright blah blah blah. Cover that up with a 1967 penny. I bought a bag of pennies cheap, well cheapish on eBay, and I thought buy a load of them, stick the pennies on the back so it's an original 1967 item, and then stick them on eBay at an inflated price just to make a few quid profit, which might pay for this weekend, but I don't know, I might be left with loads. Imagine if I go back and buy 10 or 20 of them. I mean 20 cost 100 quid, unless you did a discount. I might go back and just make some inquiries, see if they'll do a discount. But I bet they cost peanuts, probably made in bloody China. I keep having these money making ideas and then I end up spending 10 times what the money I could have made on silly things. Oh, that plug here, what's that plug? No, with a split ring. Not in here, that stuff, is it? I'm sure I packed it. I bought a new sponge, Lynx Africa, mouthwash, new toothbrush and toothpaste, my new Jack Dean. But no, bloody underarm. Oh well. Everything will be going in the wash when I get home. Oh, what time is it? 20 to 9ish. Time for brekkie downstairs. Full English breakfast, or I was just going to have cereal because you have Weetabix and stuff, but hang on, I thought I'm paying £14 for breakfast extra, so I might as well have a full English. I said, is it buffet? I said, I'll come here for 25 years for the Beatles thing. No, it's table service. Oh, so we'll see. I won't take my camera down there. No point filming me full English breakfast, is there? That's the other t-shirt I brought from home. Rubber sole. Or rubber sole. Rubber sole, man, rubber sole. That ain't real sole, that's rubber sole. That's rubber sole, boy, it's not real sole, it's rubber sole. In fact, that's a picture I wanted a 3D poster of. I've been after one for years, but Pyramid Posters who make them only sold it in the USA. Why? Not good in 3D, that. To add to my 3D poster collection at home. Miserable sods. And that's got John on the back, like I said. They were from Mexico. A little chap used to come from Mexico to Liverpool every year, selling t-shirts. Really good quality ones. I found my Old Spice. It was in my shaver pouch, silly sod, along with fresh cotton buds. Always check your shaver pouch for your Old Spice underarm deodorant. That's what I always say. I got some of that. They were liquid tomatoes, you know how you mush them up. Pier Head or whatever, and it splattered on my sheet. My sheet! I got tomatoes on my sheet! So I'll grab my shirt, sit down with a broom, watch Wheelie Dealers. Sometimes it's interesting, but it's a BMW this time. I've got everything in here, yes. Not use the little soaps. They're getting a free ring off me. I've got loads of them. Not forgot anything. My bed, in fact, because I turned it over, it's a lot more comfortable on that side. I bet. Oops, the microphone dropped. I bet they're told just to turn it over once every year or something. So therefore, that new side won't have been turned over previously. I've not left any money in. See, like them stains, water stains. That's white. You can get white emulsion anywhere. White would just cover that up. Pair of ladders up, you can do that in 5 minutes easy, make it look nice. And there's a rub there, like there's an item of furniture being moved. It's just little details like that. They could give the chambermaid a little pot of paint, but they'll be on minimum wage, although so am I. But I'll be doing all sorts. Although I suppose I am a bit obsessive. View outside the window, not very nice. I noticed last night, look at that. Fag ends, lighters. A box of them bloody, there's a box of them there, what they call them. Cream chargers. They're bloody laughing gas, aren't you? All these arsehole druggies inhale it thinking, oh yeah, great this, yeah. And that looks like a games console. It's whizzed out the window, what a grotty view. When me and my mate Kevin stayed here, we often get a nice view of the front of the hotel, and you can see right down to the seafront or riverfront. Right, I'll have my brew and check out and see what the weather's like. And go back to that shop where I got the Sergeant Pepper keyring, like I said, and see if he'll do a deal if I buy a few of them, 10 or so. I spotted these earlier. Original gas fittings. You see, if it is genuine, I don't know. Well, that's a nice old dresser, isn't it? So 1912. I just phoned my mum to see how she is and telling her about. There's a room meant to be a replica of a Titanic room. And I think it might be the breakfast room. I've just been for my brekkie and it was very elegant. Excuse me, I just had my tea. Oh, it's that service lift. It'll have to do. And again. Where's the stairs? Can't one missing. These have always scared me because they go right up. You see. Imagine if a drunk fell down there, like me. They don't match, do they? So just swap them, swap that for the one that doesn't match. Going the wrong way. Right. Was it them that were running up the fire escape? Well, has it stopped raining? Even that pub's altered from the olden times. It's got an extra bit on. Oops, bloody hell. I fell down. And yes, as usual, oh, Dickie Lewis is still there. Yeah, the pub's got a magnificent back room with all panels in, but I don't think it's that old. But that turret isn't on the old pictures. You know, I've got an old postcard of the old Adelphi with this street. That building there is a bloody Lidl, and there was an elegant old picture house there, a cinema from Victorian times, all demolished to make a Lidl. I think it was too expensive to save though, you know. Clock's not working. Right, I walked down to Mathew Street. That leather shop's in Central Station, just on the left here, where I got most of my leather jackets. Still have a dozen of them. That's that bombed out church again, and the cathedral. Right. Bye for now. Well, here I am in the Cavern Walks on Mathew Street. It looks like someone's had the same idea as me. Celebrate what would have been John's 80th birthday. Tinsel cards, all sorts, isn't there? 80th birthday cards, even some flowers. I was thinking of going down to that statue at the docks, but it's raining again. Should I go anyway? There's only that Beatles story, walk around thingy. That's down there. The actual shops in the docks aren't up to much, you know, in the Albert dock. Just going to read some of them messages. Volunteers wanted, what for? Liverpool Beatles Appreciation Society. Global. Yeah, the ones at the docks are a much better likeness. This has always been criticised for looking out like them. There's Bongo. Hello, Bongo. This cafe open, I could do with a nice brew. Oh, a lot of brochures about the different tours around Liverpool. Commercial Vehicle Museum, yeah. That's an idea. I should have a look around the museums because it's near the train station instead of going to the Albert Dock again. And someone's left some flowers here as well with an Imagine lyric sheet reproduction. Imagine if that was John Lennon's Imagine written by hand. You're talking between £50,000 and £100,000 easy. Paul's handwritten lyrics fetch 25 to 35 grand. That's nice, isn't it? Single red rose. Poor John. Wacky-backy stuff. And there's John again, that statue. This is a High Days Night Hotel. Rather expensive rooms. I'll ask about them key rings again. Yes, here we are at the Town Hall. Scene of mass Beatlemania in 1964. And there was a civic reception for the Beatles, and John Lennon was told off by Ringo. He did a Nazi salute to all the fans, and Ringo said, "Hey, don't." Because, you know, if we'd been snapped by a newspaper, it might have made a scandal in the papers, but they could get away with murder in them days, say what they wanted. Someone was saying on the telly last night there was BBC 4 had a John Lennon night because of the 80th birthday celebrations, and he said all the buildings in Liverpool were black and now they're all lovely and clean. They were black because of all the suits. 1897, that building. Gino De Campo, is that the actual chap himself? And up here is a sort of diagonal alley. I took a picture last time I was here in March, but let's have a walk up it. Yeah, sort of thing you'd see in London, this, isn't it? Oh, a wine shop. Not sure where it comes out. Another wine shop. A painting shop. There's a nice gold sign up here on the left as well. Oh, it comes out there. A cafe. Queen Avenue. Otherwise known as Diagonal Alley. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I just nipped in a pub because it started raining, one of the scattered heavy showers, and had the usual pint of Guinness and a double Jameson's whiskey. Sun's behind. I was going to turn around. I like these old Victorian fixings. That'd be to lower goods, wouldn't it? Or take goods up into a cellar. Not sure where this comes out, but we're back on Dale Street where the town hall is. Must be. Why am I doing this? Tiring myself out walking. Oh yeah, there it is. Library building down there. Should I go to Albert Dock? We're going to go to the museums. Well, that's a pub I went in, the Saddle Inn. I think I'll give it up as a bad job. I'm looking for an old pub called the Pig and Whistle, which had a connection to the McCartney family. In this area somewhere. This is the Exchange Station. Nice old Victorian building. I don't know why I bother. Could be anywhere, couldn't it? So look at all the amount of pubs in Liverpool to cater for all the dockers and the sailors. The railway, and right next door the Lion Tavern. They're very ornate though, weren't they? Look at the buildings, all the fancy stonework that went into making just a pub. I find it fascinating, like me. And that's all they had to do, wasn't it, in them days? Just work and then get pissed on a Friday, Saturday night. Pull a bird. Moorfields. Exchange Station, where the hell's that go then? It's like it's going to rain again. I thought of going to the Albert Dock, then to the museum, which is sort of within walking distance. Well, John Pearson, born 1824, died 1887, chairman of the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway, mayor of Liverpool 1871 to 2. So they're all modern because it would have been blitzed, this area, during the war. That survived. What I've been looking for in the past is the shrapnel. A lot of these buildings have got battle scars from the bombing, you know, from the Blitz. And you often find big chunks out because of the shrapnel from the bombs dropping. I've not actually seen any though. I saw a TV programme all about it, but I've not seen any. If I see any, I'll film them. Yes, I've found the old Pig and Whistle, Chapel Street. Apparently there's a connection to the I've seen that there, World War II museum. What the hell is that? Yeah, connection to the McCartney family apparently. Pig and Whistle. I'll have a look round the back because it looks semi-derelict from round the back. looks like it's going to fall down, doesn't it? Look at that. And I've used a space for satellite dishes. A Pig and Whistle. There was a light bulb on in the top floor. I'll get a picture of that further up. World War II Museum, what's all that about? A temporary thing, looks a bit, well, there's still pictures in. So look at that. Pig and Whistle. I'll check this museum out. Just missed it. Replica of John Lennon's psychedelic Rolls Royce. Oh, red light. Can I catch it up? It's only a replica. Does that do Beatle tours or something? I'm not going to run. Oh, bugger. Did I catch it? Yeah, the original is now in America. He sold it in the early 70s and it went to a museum somewhere in Florida, I think. Don't say that's doing Beatle tours. It'd be alright though, wouldn't it? Rolls Royce tour of the Beatles or the John Lennon sites in Liverpool. I'm trying to avoid all this scaffolding. There's loads of bloody building work going on. Let's have a look at the Pig and Whistle again. I wonder if this is a bomb site left over from the war, or is it a recent demolition? Covent Garden. Pig and Whistle. See these lights on. I'll stand across the road to get a better perspective. I'm only filming this because apparently one of McCartney's aunties used to run it or something, aunties and uncles, years ago. Oh, that's better, isn't it? The corner of Covent Garden and Chapel Street. Whereabouts are we now? Approaching the riverfront. Oh, Prince's Dock. Old church and the Liver building there. Bloody hell. I bought 5 of them cheap Sgt. Pepper posters, the 3D ones, for 10 quid each. And on eBay, they're selling for a lot more. And yeah, look at the boys there. They look medieval, don't they? But it must be... Oh, total shame. Oh, it's a silly bloody art sculpture. All the plastic. Get on to the Chinese and the Malaysians. There's bloody tons and tons in the rivers there, not just odds and ends. I think this would be battle scarred from the war, wouldn't it? Ancient chapel demolished 1814. Saint Mary del Quay, 1257. Just where I came on my bike once, I think it was, I parked up there. All this bloody building work. I mentioned before, they say that them clock faces are bigger than Big Ben's, but I wouldn't think so, would you? There's a picture of this before they actually built this building, 1907. So before 1907 this didn't exist. What are they doing? Nothing wrong with the road before. Can you see these seagulls dancing? You know what they're doing? Stamping on the floor to coax the worms to the surface. Then vibrations make the worms appear, and then they grab them and eat them. I just saw this Fab 4 store, Fab 4 cafe. Ooh. I think that's in rather poor taste, or what? Not poor taste exactly, but a bit gimmicky, innit? And the old power's gone down a lot. I'll go to the statues. Very breezy. I'm going to get some salt spray off the sea or river. These are known as the Three Graces, but these horrible blocks interfere with them, don't they? They should never have been built. Hideous concrete blocks, I think they are. What do you think? Museum of Liverpool. And this is the actual ferry terminal, but it's full of Beatles stuff. Let's see if it's open. Fancy a brew. Oh no. Closed until further notice. It said go to the Beatles store for your other souvenirs. So they got bottle openers there. Penny Lane bottle opener. What a load of chat. That's a better view of the Three Graces, isn't it? Tower block, fancy apartments down there. Lava building there. Cunard building there from the Cunard shipping line. I'm not sure what that one is. And Edward the 7th on his horse there. So at least these three are still in view, have not been obscured by bloody concrete blocks, have they? I'll walk to the statues. What's all these flowers for? They're not for John, are they? No. Fab 4 cafes, I don't know. We are open, good. Everyone looks like dwarves because they're actually about 7 foot tall. But they're very good likenesses, aren't they? It's meant to be clues because yeah, George's belt is full of Indian stuff. John's meant to have acorns in his hand. Paul's got a camera in his hand. Very good likenesses, aren't they? Where's the air coins? Was it talking bollocks? Oh yeah, air coins, yeah. You see, air coins. What was the Ringo one? I forgot. I've mentioned this before, but that is the White Star Line's offices. It was from the 1800s until whatever, when they fizzled out. And the White Star Line, when people wanted the bodies of the people that drowned or froze to death on the Titanic returned from America, they wanted a bloody fortune to repatriate the bodies for burial. And of course all the poor people who were on the Titanic in third class couldn't afford, and the White Star Line got slated for it. And that's the old building, White Star Line offices. And there's the Albert Dock and the Museum of Liverpool, horrible concrete block, blot on the landscape. So we go via the salty sea air. And that's a lonely statue of Billy Fury. I was to walk up to Billy Fury. Why he's here, I don't know. He should be in the city centre along with the Beatles, although his career sort of frittered out, didn't it, once the Merseybeat boom came. Poor Billy got sort of sidelined. Part of the Larry Point stable when they all changed the name. Was he called Ron Wycherley originally? And Marty Wilde, they all had normal names. Duffy Power. What was the other one called? There were a few, weren't there? But what a place to put poor Billy, stuck on his own. I have a single on Decca, Nothing Shaking. Nothing shaking but the leaves on a tree. I wanna find out it's all about. Doodle 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 doodle. After all that isn't Billy Fury. Billy Fury's further down, I think. Silly sod. That's someone with binoculars. Pigeons sheltering from the cold. Well, it's not cold. What's this then? Old Boys of what? Silly sod. Captain Walker. Royal Navy. Battle of the Atlantic. It's not Billy Fury, sorry. Oh, that's a better view of the Three Graces, isn't it? Isn't that lovely? And a reflection of the White Star Line office. Oh yeah, that's a Mersey ferry. Well, Fab 4 Cafe, Mersey ferries, catch your ferry across the Mersey, which normally have to go sideways because of the tide and the wind. A river murky, as John Lennon called it. And just coming in is a ferry across the Murky. Going sideways, like I said, because of the tide and the wind. Strong wind today. Royal Iris. Look at this. That's a propeller off a Lusitania. Sunk in the First World War. They say that's what got America into the First World War. The U-boats used to refuel in Ireland, who claimed to be neutral, but they helped the bloody Germans out. Pump House Pub, yeah, I might nip in there if it's open. Albert Dock, Merseyside Maritime Museum. And the the statue of Billy Fury is here, not back where I was looking before. This is a big turntable. This is a swing bridge that opens up to let ships and boats into this dock. And there's a dry dock there. I filmed that all around here last time on my birthday. Let's have a look at Billy Fury. Yes, matey. So you can see it's tidal, can't you? Because it's at low tide now. Have you fancy doing a bit of mud like in there? The height in metres, how far has it come up? See, 7 metres there. What's this tradition of locks on these chains for? And letting them go rusty? What's it all about? Here's Billy. With some flowers in his hand. That's right, Ronald Wycherley. Only 43 when he died. Oh, 42. He always had a weak eye, didn't he? Poor Billy. There's a picture of John Lennon asking for his autograph at the audition when Larry Pines wanted a backing band for Billy Fury's tour. He decided the Beatles weren't good enough, but he offered them a Scottish tour with Johnny Gentle, another of his stable. After suffering health problems, Billy had a fatal heart attack in 1983 and died at the age of only 42. Poor Billy. I'll knock this off for now. Well, I had to get a bit of film of the Albert Dock. It's a nice ship, isn't it? Catholic Cathedral there, where I was yesterday. Wonder what that is, a floating landing stage thing. They should have a band on, playing John Lennon tunes. Quite a few boats here, isn't there? Let's have a closer look at this ship. Well, it's only a little clipper, isn't it? Oh, pigeon. It's a Portuguese man of war with gun ports. Fire! With a seagull perched right on the top, as you'd expect. Nice that, isn't it? Wouldn't fancy going on the open sea with it though. Bloody hell, I think I would be hanging over the side, puking up. Beep, beep. Yes, here we are at the Beatles story. Been around it half a dozen times, but it's just for tourists, I think. Not a lot to appeal to, well, would I call myself a hardcore fan? The dummies are horrible. I've got some horrible dummies in a recording studio. I thought, get shut to them and have some more made. And they've altered everything because of the virus thing, or is it because people were going in the gift shop buying stuff without going around the tour, so now you have to go around the bloody tour before you can get to the gift shop, which I thought was a bit cheeky. I just bought some Beatles things from a souvenir shop. Little 3D pictures of Abbey Road and Sgt. Pepper, and a couple of jokey masks, one for my mate at work, Mr. Bean, and one for me, Freddie Mercury, only $2.99 each. Where's the hotel? Oh, there we are, Premier Inn. I was going to book there last August. It wanted £100 odd a night. My mate Kevin was at the Beatles bash and he said, why not come for one night, we'll go up Picks, and I was considering it. And then I snapped, I thought, what, hang on, £100 odd, am I going mad? So I didn't. Albert Dock, built 1841 to 46. So I'm not looking around there. It's about 18 quid as well. What an anchor. What an anchor. No taxis. I can't walk back to the station from here. I'm going to go around the museums, but that museum of Liverpool looked massive. I'd like to have a look around there, but if I was staying another night, I would. I should have booked another night, shouldn't I? Well, I just got a taxi from the Albert Dock back to here. And it's time to go home. I was going to go to them 3 museums, the Museum of Liverpool at the Albert Dock and them 2. But I thought I'm tired because of the lack of sleep with all the bloody door banging. I thought I'd get home. Can always go to them another time, can I? If they're even worth a visit. Not sure what's in them. Years ago there used to be a load of vintage vehicles, you know, lorries and all sorts, old trams. Whether they're still there, I don't know.